All free men, wherever they may live, are citizens of Berlin. And therefore, as a free man, I take pride in the words, Ich bin ein Berliner.
Following World War II, the Soviets divided the people of East and West Berlin by a seemingly unbreakable barrier, the Berlin Wall. The fall of this wall is now shown as one of the most important events in history today, resulting in the reunification of Germany, becoming a Cold War symbol, and the death of communism.
As the communist barrier between East and West Berlin grows higher and stronger, the more determined grows the will of those in the East to escape. Along the border, East Berliners are forced to evacuate their homes as the communist police move to prevent their escape.
After the wall was built, a few visits to the West were authorized by the SED. As of August 23rd, West Berliners were not allowed to enter East Berlin. The Berlin Wall was supposed to prevent East Berliners and the citizens of East Germany from fleeing to the West. The border fortifications were constantly expanded and improved to make them impassable to fugitives. When the wall went up, surveillance was added to make sure no one escaped. Another measure to ensure no one would cross was electrified barbed wire to shock people if they dared to cross. But the Soviets soon realized that it wasn't good enough to keep people out, so they then bricked up windows so that people could not go around or jumped over the barbed wire. Once the Soviets realized that these measures could not stop people, they began to build a wall. They call this wall the First Wall. This wall contained coils of barbed wire, vehicle obstacles, screens to block views, vehicle ditches, and guard dogs. These deterrents were put there to keep people out of West Berlin, but also to intimidate them, so they would not get any ideas to escape in the near future. Soon after the first wall was built, the Soviets added an abundance of guards to make sure no one would attempt to escape. Because so many soldiers were coming in and they had to stay on the east side of the wall, they had to make shelters and guard stands so they would stay inside and they would be able to get a better view of the people below. Finally, the last stage of building, the final wall. This is the stage that scared the people of East and West Berlin the most. This is due to the wall being built late at night to early in the morning, and how the wall meant the people of East Berlin were probably never going to get out of there and live with their families across the border ever again. Many people who were on the east side of Berlin attempted to escape. An estimated 5,000 people escaped the wall. They got over the wall by jumping across buildings, ziplining, digging an intricate system of tunnels, and even hot air balloons. But an estimated 136 people died attempting to cross the border, mostly by being shot by the guards in the 300 watchtowers or by getting caught.
General Secretary Gorbachev, if you seek peace, if you seek prosperity for the Soviet Union and Eastern Europe, if you seek liberalization, come here to this gate. Mr. Gorbachev, open this gate. Mr. Gorbachev, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
The wall fell on November 9th, 1989, when it was announced over the radio and on television that access to the west side of the wall could become easier. But the people of Berlin took it the wrong way and assumed that this meant that the wall was coming down. Out of pure joy and excitement, but also anger and sadness, they went to the wall and forced the guards to take it down. The guards got too overwhelmed and they let the people of East Berlin through. This caused people to rush through and get to the other side of the wall with a sense of urgency because they may never get the chance to see their families again. And on that day, on November 9th, 1989, the torture of the Berlin Wall was officially ended.
She has to help at the weekend, and my father was in West Berlin. And that was a time where you could change without. Sometimes they made controls, but you could change. You can take the S-Bahn and so on. Everything. Nothing was separated, and nobody believed that it would really give a wall. Nobody could imagine this until they built it. Yeah.
1987, I was certain that the wall would not go away in my lifetime. Then, when I arrived in Berlin, the first opening was being made on the northern end of Berner Strasse, and piece by piece, but very slowly and painstakingly, it was taken down. Stiftung Berliner Mauer, 2012. Once the Berlin Wall came down, many people were still affected by the horror and were in shock by what they saw. Some people could never get over that. When the wall came down, numerous ceremonies and parties occurred, but because people were afraid to come out of their houses, they missed out on the celebration. After the Berlin Wall fell, Germany officially reunited on October 3, 1990. This was a big deal because it was the first time the four sectors, American, Soviet, Great Britain, and France, came together since World War II. And in March 1990, East Germany held its first election in over 40 years. In the years since reunification, Germany has grown bigger and stronger than ever. Germany is now a major economic and political force in Europe. One of the lingering effects remaining from World War II is Germany's national pride is not as pronounced as in many Western countries. For example, the German flag is not displayed very prominently throughout the country. It is very rare to see it. Moving forward, Germany is now establishing itself with freedom from walls and the Cold War. Previously, the Berlin Wall was used to represent a lack of freedom under communism. The wall didn't give people much of a choice of what to do when they have a barrier and a limit to what they could do economically, spiritually, educationally, and even what to do in their spare time.
Not a few people, but the studies say that the economics from the East versus the West are not equal. What would you say?
I would say it's true, and it's especially true in Berlin because the West and the East is here so close to another, and it's not fair. And I don't know how many years it will take that it will come closer.
Another major symbol of the Berlin Wall is a Cold War symbol. The Berlin Wall represented many things like hardship and suffering, mostly to the people in it, but also the Western world. Around the world, the Berlin Wall was the most recognizable Cold War symbol, which is why the collapse was such a dramatic spectacle, televised around the world. Hope Harrison. After the fall, the new government of Germany eliminated their communist rule and reunified back together, creating a new parliament or Bundestag. The Reichstag building in Berlin House's parliament has influenced the way Germany has recreated its government and how to take care for its citizens. The government has been more transparent with what their government does. They want to show they have nothing to hide. They do this by freely allowing the public to come in and watch them do their work, allowing the public to have a say in the decisions made involving the country, and not keeping secrets that will affect the way that the people of Germany and Berlin live.